Good morning or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to join Novastar online launch event. This is Samuel, the host today. Today, we'll release the brand new MX control solution. Later, Simon will give you a comprehensive presentation. During the presentation, if you have any questions, you can type the questions in the chat window. Our engineer Leon will answer them one by one afterwards. To ensure a good effect, please help check if your microphone is muted and keep the camera turned off. Please scan the QR code or click the link in chat window to sign in. Now, let's welcome Simon to share with us the details.
Yeah, Samuel. Hey, everyone. This is Simon from Novastar, and I'm very excited today to share with you our brand new MX series solution. We hope it will help unleash more creativity for your lab projects. The solution consists of 3 parts. One brand new software VMP, a platform that's immensely different from Nova LCT. 2 core technologies, which are specifically designed for the fast-growing fine-pitch display market. And 3 highlights, aiming to provide ultimate capabilities for our control system. Now, let's check them out one by one. First things first, VMP, short for Vision Management Platform. The reason why we developed VMP is we've received a lot of feedback from our customers over the years about how limited and unfriendly the Nova LCT is. So we said to ourselves, we've got to change. And now here it comes, VMP. It truly allows users to talk to the screen and unleash more creativity. Now, let's watch a short video together. So this is the new software. It's available on multiple operating systems, including Windows, Mac, and Linux. And the entire user interface has been rebuilt with a much more modern and user-friendly layout, completely different from Nova LCT. How does it look like in details? Well, here you can see the main interface. On the left is the sidebar, the device list. All connected controllers can be found here, and you can do quick group settings. On the top is the navigator, where you'll find the general workflow for screen configuration. On the right is the properties bar, where all adjustable parameters are listed. And quite in the middle is the screen operation canvas. And the operation logic is to pick the target screen from the left, choose the operation on top, and then adjust parameters on the right. Now, let's dive into these parts one by one. I'm pretty sure you must be familiar with such a scene, an ultra-large screen with multiple controllers cascaded, cable wiring unclear, project timeline quite tight. With a traditional system, you can only drag Ethernet cables all the way before the screen and configure the controllers one by one, which kind of holds you back, and it takes long to configure the whole screen. But now, with our new solution, you can simply move around wirelessly as long as all controllers are put under the same local network. In addition, we can do group management here. This way, controllers can be managed in groups according to physical screens, so it will be a lot more efficient. And before screen configuration, we still have some work to do. Here, step 1 is for input. We need a media source as a reference for configuration. In the past, we've had to calculate the coordinates or check the screen in the front. However, with the new software, you can get the input source on the display in real time and fit the contents to screen easily. Also, with source preview and source switch, you can monitor the status of input sources and switch between different sources easily. Besides, in case you don't have a proper input source on site, you can directly use the built-in templates for convenience. Or you can simply store multiple test pictures of your own through this function. Even without an external source, LED screen mapping is still possible with VMP. Okay, so step 1 done. Now step 2, screen mapping. In VMP, we've prepared a quick screen mapping for everyone. How does this work? Just check this demo video out. As you can see, here screen mapping becomes way easier than on Nova LCT. And you don't have to worry when you get some mapping wrong, because here we provide you with 16 possible patterns for quick correction. You can directly correct the wiring without mapping the whole screen again. Also, you can check the cabinet info here by one click. As special shaped screens are now no more headache for us. On Nova LCT, you need to do math and see if the outer rectangle frame is within the loading capacity or not. But now with VMP, all you need to do is to place cabinets in a design shape, and you are free to go the way you want. We've broken down the rectangle limitation. This way, the load utilization rate of each port is greatly lifted, and the loading status is directly shown below, making screen configuration more efficient. After mapping, step 3, screen correction. For example, SIM correction. Now we're able to visually locate and select the SIMs on the display simply by mouse. And by placing the mouse on the scroll wheel icon and wheel up and down, we can adjust the brightness in the software. Visual light settings also apply to multi-batch correction. And so far, we are done with almost 80% of the screen configuration. However, for many applications like TV studios and broadcasting, color adjustment is also necessary. Therefore, here comes step 4, the key feature, perceptual color control on screen. Here you can find the most popular tools on the market, like color replacement, 3D LUT, curve, and 14-channel color correction. We'll go deeper in a while. And finally, step 5, output management. In order to make sure the output signal is stable on the LED screen and works correctly with other devices, here are some new features to help, like Ginlock, low latency, frame multiplexing, shutter fit, bit depth, and so on. Besides, we also upgrade the maintenance and monitoring feature. Here, you can know the contents on the LED screen directly in the software. You can also get end-to-end health status monitoring of your LED display in real time. Firmware upgrade can be done in batches and by the painter tool. So here is the summary for the new software VMP. It's designed for multiple operating systems with intuitive user interface. Many helpful features are available, such as group settings, source preview, sim correction, perceptual color control, and output management. In addition to the new software, we are also launching two core technologies, dynamic booster and full grayscale calibration. The first one is dynamic booster. And to help you better understand this technology, here are two real shots for comparison. The left one with traditional solution, and the right one with dynamic booster engaged. And as you can see, the right one shows higher contrast and sharper details. With dynamic booster, the brightness and details can be adjusted to the ideal level. This way, even SDR source can present HDR-like effect. All of these changes are realized through our dynamic algorithm, which is based on image analysis frame by frame. So there is no overexposure in highlights and no loss of details in shadows. In addition to that, it can also help reduce the power consumption of LED displays by around 20%. We did a test with some commonly used materials such as pure white, PowerPoint files, grayscale gradients, printed test page, etc. And finally came to this result. We also tested with some video types that are frequently played, such as PowerPoint files, documentary films, sports, and news reports. And the result is the same. The power consumption of LED display can also be reduced by around 20%. And this means a lot for us, because once the power consumption is lowered, the temperature goes down and color difference is alleviated. Theoretically, the lifespan of your LED walls can be extended overall. The second core tech is full grayscale calibration. This is the sales amount of mini and micro LED over the past few years, and we can clearly tell that this market will continue to expand exponentially in the future. But along with popularization, some new issues must be solved, like severe color blocks and inconsistent uniformity. Full grayscale calibration is born to solve these issues. But what leads to such issues? With pixel pitch going all the way down, the powering current for each LED chip must be lowered in order to maintain a constant luminous flux. But as the powering current gets smaller, the nonlinearity of the LED chip also becomes more obvious, which has a huge impact on the display uniformity, and this cannot be solved by one-layer calibration. So we developed the full grayscale calibration. Here you can see a comparison. Left side with traditional and right side with the new calibration. As you can see, here the right one performs way better in every grayscale than the left one. Because here the calibration coefficients are generated per grayscale. To sum up, the two core technologies can help us improve image quality, lower power consumption, help extend the lifespan of LED displays in the long run, and solve inaccurate grayscale and color issues. In addition to one software and two core technologies, today we are also excited to introduce to you three highlights, namely flexible color adjustment, scenario preset, and frame processing. And this means a lot for us. In the past, when it comes to LED displays, people focus more on the human eye watching experience. But in recent years, camera shootings are really on the trend, and this has proposed much higher requirements for LED wall and control solution. And color management is one of the key factors that affects the production performance. In addition, color is the fundamental thing for designers and directors to fulfill their creativity. So let's first look at color processing. For applications like corporate events, broadcasting, and film production, flexible color adjustment is the cornerstone to ensure perfect color match anytime you need it. On a new system, you'll be able to adjust input and output color separately. For input, you can adjust black level, hue, saturation, contrast, and also RGB highlights and shadows. For output, the 14-channel color correction helps guarantee the color accuracy of the video source. You can adjust primary, secondary, and tertiary colors in the video without affecting any other colors. Also, for professional users, we provide advanced color correction tools. Curve toning and 3D LUT make color management more efficient and flexible. This is an example of curve toning. You can use it to quickly get a different style. And with 3D LUT, colors can be remapped more accurately in a 3-dimensional color space. You can personalize the color of your LED screen by importing 3D LUT file. The next highlight is our scenario presets. Up to now, we've done many XR projects like film production, corporate event, TV shows. And we found that many users are still having a hard time with it. For large screens, managing multiple controllers is very complicated in Nova LCT. So now we combine group IDEA into source management, color management, and so on. This way, users can switch the source and make adjustments of the whole display all at once. All parameters of input source, output, colors, and color gamut can be saved into presets, including EDID, color adjustments, as well as HDR settings. With our new solution, we can achieve HDR 10-bit 4:4:4, and PQ mode is also supported, all presenting an exceptional HDR performance. More importantly, when it comes to different jobs, users can do preparation work in advance and save them all into presets for quick retrieval, including source adjustment, color processing, output parameters, etc. It is very convenient to operate and control on the spot. And here is a scenario preset design. The third highlight is frame processing. Another headache for camera production is black field and scan lines. When a camera shutter and content do not match, there are 3 possible reasons: inconsistent start time, inconsistent frequency, or inconsistent duration. And in order to solve these issues, we developed 2 functions: Ginlock phase offset and shutter fit. This way, the black field and scan lines will be gone. In addition, we've also received many requests from our customers about saving time and cost, especially in XR projects. Therefore, we developed a new function, frame multiplexing, which allows users to reframe multiple video feeds in the same time field. Together with the camera's Ginlock phase offset, you can shoot once and get multiple effects simultaneously, which improves work efficiency and greatly saves cost. And here is the complete solution for virtual production. For source, you can get HDR 10-bit 4:4:4 and PQ mode. Shutter fit and Ginlock phase offset are designed to better work with cameras. With frame multiplexing, you can save time and cost, and on the screen side, flexible color adjustment can ensure a perfect color match. All of these are supported by the new control solution. Last but not least, the new system also provides two core technologies, dynamic booster and full grayscale calibration, presenting the HDR-like effect and lowering power consumption at the same time. Okay, so by now you may wonder what the whole system structure looks like. Let's check them out together. For software, we've got VMP. For controller, we've got MX40 Pro. For inputs, it has 3 HDMI 2.0, 1 12G SDI, and 1 DisplayPort 1.2. For outputs, it has 20 Ethercon and 4 10 gigabit optical fiber. And for receiving card, we've got A10S Pro. And here is the summary for available key features: ultimate control, flexible color management, and high image quality. And that's all for today. Thanks for your time. Hi, Samuel, now it's your time.
Thanks, Simon, for the detailed presentation. I guess you must have a general understanding about the new MX control solution now. We've collected many questions in our chat. Next, let's move to the Q&A session. Let's welcome Leon. Hello, Leon.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Simon. Hello, everyone. I'm Leon from Novastar. I will be in charge of the Q&A session. Now, let's check the questions together. Number 1, can I use the VMP with older controllers or only with MX series? Well, the answer is cannot work with the LCT platform controllers. In order to improve the user experience and bring more value for the users, the VMP software was designed through a new structure, which is totally different with the normal LCT software. And the VMP software is a strong reply on the hardware support of the MX series controller. But we also know that the LCT platform controller is various from the users to select from different LED scenes. In VMP platform, we already have the plan to cover most kind of the main LED using scenario, from 2K to 4K, even 8K solution. The MX40 Pro is the leading launch product in 4K solution. The whole series products will come in soon. Okay, number 2, is the main backup processing of different processors also possible over Ethernet? Well, the answer is yes. Each of the controller has the router module integrated. The Ethernet control port could be using as a single device control and also for the cascading. Number 3, is it possible to use this software with MCTR 4K? Well, the answer is just the same as the question, the number 1. Number 4, which receiving card will work with the VMP software? Well, this is a really good question, just like the first question. The receiving card, which could work with the VMP software, the Armor series receiving card. Now we have to test the A4S, A5S Plus, A7S, AAS, and the A10S Pro. Okay. Number 5, this software platform is for all Novastar controller or only for new coming controllers? Well, the answer is just the same as the question number 1. Okay, you can check the details. Okay. Number 6, what is the processing latency using these new features or algorithms? The time for the latency, first I gotta say the MX40 Pro, the controller support the low latency function. and it is same as MCTR 4K. When you enable the low latency function, the time for the latency will close to 0. Okay. Number 7, what is the resolution of the 3D LUT? Well, the VNP software supports the 3D file loading and the intensity adjustment, but the size of the file should be 17 by 17 by 17 grid, and the file should be .cube type, CUBE. Okay. Number 8, can this VNP platform make good online calibration of multi-batch screen with classic dangle key and the photo camera? Well, in my understanding, the photo camera, you mean the camera we support the Canon, right? Like 7D, 70D, or 80D. Well, the first thing I gotta tell you is the VNP software can only work with the CareCube, the calibration software, and the CareCube software will not support the digital camera. Yeah, I mean the photo camera, just as you mentioned. Okay. Number 9, can several users work on several screens at the same time? Well, this is a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think the one who asked this question must be very familiar with the H series. This one for MX40 Pro, the answer is not support, because all the controllers could be cascaded. As you know, all the controllers could be cascaded. So one user can control multiple controllers if all the controller has connected by the Ethernet port, by the Ethernet cables, just like that. Okay. Is there any number 10? Question number 10. Is there any color picker option? Well, in the software, the processing module, there is a color replacement function, and you can just get the color from the video source, and also you can just make your own option to choose a color. So the answer, I can say yes. Okay. Question 11. Do the receiving card needs a new firmware? Okay. In order to answer the question 11, I would like to mention about the answers from question 4. As I have said, the VNP software, the MX40 Pro controller support the Armor series receiving card, right? Just I have said the A4S, A5S Plus, A7S, AAS, and A10S Pro. Yes, the new firmware, but for the one besides the A10S Pro, the old ones, the A4S, A5S Plus, A7S, AAS, don't need any new firmware. The standard one, the standard firmware version is also available. You can download the firmware from our website. The standard version could support the receiving card. Make sure that the receiving card can work with the MX40 Pro. Okay. Number 12. How soon is the software available for download? Well, actually, right now there is no way to download the software from our website, but you can contact our sales. They will send you the latest version for testing or for operating, something like that. Okay. Number 13, is the software available from today? Well, I can say yes. If you want to try something with the BNP, you can contact our sales. Our sales is able to send you the software. But right now, at this moment, the software is not able to download from our website, but we can provide you if you need. Okay. Number 14, how do you set the processor to native color space for PQ-based color calibration? Well, this is a really good question. And I think I need to check this one with our R&D team, and then give you the feedback. Okay, because right now the VNP software cooperate with the MX50 Pro support two kind of the calibration. One common calibration and the full grayscale calibration, just mentioned in the PowerPoint. In the presentation, my colleague Simon has already shared with us the full grayscale calibration. And as for the full grayscale calibration, I think there is no impact on the PQ based color. Okay, so I will give the answer after I check with my R&D team. Number 15. will MP work with the H series? Well, this question has the same answer as the question number 1. Okay. Number 16. What about high frame rate shorting workflow? What's the maximum FPS can we achieve with the virtual products package? Well, I'm not gonna read the answers, but I can tell you is the maximum value is 240 hertz, just like we have prepared the answer on the right. Okay. Number 17. When we switch to low latency mode, does it reduce the pixel capacity of the processor? Well, the answer is no, because the low latency function will not impact the loading capacity of the MX40 Pro controller. And also, besides, there is a kind of a limitation, just like before. The weight of the screen connection should be the same just as the limitation from the MCTR 4K. Okay, so the answer is no. Number 18, when will the MX40 Pro be available for sale? Well, this is a good question. It is planned in the middle of the 2022. Number 19, only A4S, A5S Plus, or also the A4S and the A5S. Well, as you know, the A5S receiving card has suspended. So we have the A5S Plus. The answer is just like I think it's the second one has mentioned. A4S, A5S Plus, A7S, AAS, and A10S Pro. Okay. Number 20, with the new calibration software, CalQ, we can still use our old classical film No, just as I have mentioned. The answer is no, because I have mentioned the CalQ software is not capable with the digital camera. Okay, the Canon 7D or 70D, 7A, Canon 8D, A0D, just like that. Number 21, can you send the full Q&A sheet in the chat once the session is over so we can download it? Yeah, of course, no problem. We will just we will send it to our client after management. Number 22, have you guys developed any color calibration workflow inclusive from cinema cameras? Well, right now we only support just like the digital camera and for VMP and MX40 Pro, which is the one, the C3000 and the 200, the one. Okay, number 23. For the multi-level calibration, how many levels need to be measured and how long does it take? Compared with the common calibration compared with the common calibration with the camera, I mean the one, the C730 3200, the one. At least it will take 4 or 5 times as before. So yes, the time will take longer, much longer. The first skill, the full grid skill calibration. Yeah, it will take a longer time. How many levels? At least what you have to record is 2 levels, but inside the software and hardware, it will at least 8 levels. Okay, just like my colleague Simon has the presentation in the PowerPoint. Okay, question number 24. I would like a download for testing purpose. Can you send it to the people who have registered? Well, you can. The answer is you can just leave us more information, or you can contact the sales. Then we can just provide you the software and also the register information about how to register the software in your laptop. Okay. Number 25. What's the pixel capacity of the processor? What's the maximum output we can send to the LED wall? Is 4096 by 2116. At the moment, the loading capacity of this controller is just like a 4K level, because right now the controller do not support any skew or zoom function. Okay, so the loading capacity is just a 4K level, but this controller is planned to integrate 3 layers and this has a scale function in the future. And the input connector is HDMI 2.0 and DP 1.2. So you got it. The resolution, the maximum resolution is just as you have described. Okay. Number 26. What will be the limitation when you switch low latency? What will be the limitation when you switch low latency on? If nothing, it will be logically that's always on. Well, the question is not finished, I think. As we know that the low latency function is always conflict with the genlock function, as we know. But okay, it is about the screen connection. The limitation is also is the same as before, the way of the screen connection in the low latency function. Number 27. When we are using the higher frame at 240 Hz, does it affect the pixel capacity of the processor? Do we need to increase the number of the processor as we increase the FPS or Hz? Yes, of course. For the frame rate, just as before, when the frame rate is 60 Hz, you know the loading capacity for each Ethernet output is 700, 600, and is 600. I mean, when the video source is 60 Hz, right? The loading capacity for each output is 650,000 pixels, right? This is how I say, is a common knowledge. It's all of us will know that. And if you increase the frame rate, just as you have said, 240 Hz, well, I gotta say, the loading capacity is just as is much smaller than before, as a ratio compared with the 16 to 240. Okay. Number 28. Is there a phone app version planned for control elements? At the moment, I think there is no such plan to control the MX30 Pro with the app. Number 29. Can we use CET10 on the CET 4K as fiber converters? Well, what we have recommended is the CET10 because of the system structure logic has a limitation for the CVT 4K. So the answer is only right now only the CVT10 is available for the MX30 Pro. Does 4K need 20 outputs? Number 30. Does 4K need 20 output ports? Well, it depends. Depends on what? Depends on the size of the cabinet and the size of the, mainly it depends on the size of the pixel size of the cabinet. Depends on how do you make the screen connection about it. Okay, to make sure the usage of each output, should be rather higher, then there should be no problem. Okay, what will be the limitation when you switch low latency on? If nothing, will be number 31. Oh, got it. It's not the answer. Why have a latency mode if not having it has no effect? What is the got it is not an answer. If not having it has no effect. What are the limitations introduced by using latency mode? As I have said, right now the limitation is just the screen connection, the way of you design the screen connection. 3D function. Oh, I got it. I think you want to know what kind of the function will have impact on the low latency mode, right? This is what you want to ask, okay? Not about the screen connection limit, okay? I think. First, I gotta say the MX40 Pro controller support the low latency, support the low latency and a 3D function, HDR, something like that. And but the way of the MX40 Pro to realize the 3D function is a little bit different as before. So right now, we have set the 3D function. The low latency will have no impact on the 3D function, okay? Because the way to achieve this function is a little bit is different. Okay. Number 32. Will you recommend AAS Pro instead of AAS for new 2.6 millimeter indoor if we buy a new screen? And is there anything managers have to do different? Well, we recommend the A10S Pro receiving card instead of the AAS because there is 3 advanced features that the AAS do not support. Oh, just like in the honors. The dynamic booster, and then the shutter scene, dynamic engine. Okay, I gotta tell you the answer, okay? I will tell you the difference between the 18S Pro and the AAS, okay? First is about the loading capacity, which is just the basic, okay? And the second is the 3 advanced features that the the AAS receiving card do not support. The first is the dynamic booster, okay? The second is the full grayscale calibration, okay? And the third one is the shutter fit function, okay? That is why we recommend the A10S Pro. Question number 33. How much pixel output each part, min and the max? Okay. For the question 33, how much pixel output each? Normally the loading capacity is 650,000. Okay. If the video source is in the 8-bit stack color depth and 16 hertz. Okay, this is the common value. But sorry, my colleague was just having me to change the answer. So okay, number 33. Okay, I'm gonna keep going on. For camera using the loading capacity for each output is just 650,000 pixels. Okay, and this value is always related with the color depth and frame rate. As you know, the video source is 16 hertz and the color depth is just 8-bit. And later we will provide a format about the loading capacity, the relationship between the loading capacity and the color depth and the frame rate. Okay, with 8 bits, 10 bits, 12 bits. About the frame rate, we will calculate from 60 hertz. We will calculate from 60 hertz to 240 hertz. We'll provide this chat to our client. Okay. Oh, I can tell you something now. Okay. If you want to know, the minimum, the loading capacity for each output. As you know, when the frame rate is 24 hertz, the color depth is just 8 bits. The loading capacity will be 1.6 million. Okay, 1.6 million. It's about 1.6 million. So when the frame rate is 240 hertz and the color depth is 12 bits, the loading capacity of each Ethernet output is just 81,000. Okay, so I think this is what you need. Number 34. Is it be possible to get a user manual of datasheet for? Oh yeah, of course. You can ask the sales who will provide you the information and the files you need. Okay. Number 35. Can you explain the cable requirements for low latency? Okay, the answer is you have the maximum 512 pixels. Okay, I'm not going to just check the words. Can you explain the cable requirement for low latency mode? Okay, sure. Yeah, of course. I mean, I think you want to know the way of the screen connection, right? Okay, this is the answer. It is only required a cable running direction from up to down, from top to down. Okay, each port loading area should be top aligned. Okay, they should be all the ports has a starting point, starting cabinet, and the first starting cabinet should be the same horizon level, just like that. This is a limitation, and the cabling should be up and down. It's just like that. It's recommended. Okay, what is the number 36? What is the pixel capacity of a single processor? I have said right now the MX40 Pro do not support the scale function, but it is already planned to do that. So right now the learning capacity is just 8.8 million, just like MCTR 4K. Okay, but after it finished the scale or zoom function with 3 layers, the loading capacity will be much higher, just like 30 million. And how does the 30 million counts? It was 650,000 for each port, and they have 20 ports in MX40 Pro. Okay, provided that the number 37, provided that the hardware can support all functional, what level of monitoring can you offer? Well, this is a good question. Okay, this is really a good question. Right now, I think most of the client, our client, which have who have already tried the VMP software, the version you have tried do not have integrated the monitoring function, right? But what I can tell you is the monitoring function in a VMP software is much more functional than before. You can check the history by the timeline from longer before, and also the healthy monitoring will be much more. I'm gonna provide you an experience. I think most of the clients has already experienced the Vinox care. I think the interface is kind of like that, but for MX40 Pro, it's a software, not a platform. Okay, it's a software integrated in the VMP software. It's not like Vinox, but the interface is almost the same like that. Number 38. Does the MX40 Pro has the capacities of the HDR master built in? No. The answer is no. The HDR master 4K is a processor, video processor from Novistar, which can transfer the SDR to HDR. HDR10 level is a HDR. What do you want to know? I think it's about the dynamic engine and dynamic booster, right? There are three parts about the dynamic booster. The first is about the out brightness adjustment, right? The second one is about the contrast and the improvement. The second one is the SDR to HDR, but the level, it is just it mentioned in the PowerPoint, it is the HDR like. To transfer the SDR to HDR like level, it's not a real HDR. Okay. Question 39. Can we select the color space to the output and input? What are the color space we can choose? Like, well, this is a common use. The like 2020 REC 2020 REC 709 and even the DCIP3. Yeah, so the answer is yes. What is the price? Oh, that's a good question. And I think after the formal release, you can leave your information here, or you can contact our sales. Okay, our sales will provide you the details about this one, about the price. Okay, so that's all for the Q&A session. Okay, just for your information, we can take orders after the formal release. The lead time of the MX40 Pro is normally around 30 days, while the first batch takes longer time to produce. Should be ready by the end of the February. We'll keep you updated if order confirmed. Okay. Thanks. Hi, Samuel.
Hi, Leon. Thank you very much. Okay, I see there's no more question popping up. So, and the last, to help us improve, we'd like to get your feedback. So here's 3 questions. Here are 3 questions for us to improve for next event. If you need more information or detailed, if you still have detailed questions, we will display the contact information of our account manager in the last slide. Okay, I will end up the pose. Hello, Simon, can you move the slides to the last page of the contact information? So really appreciate your help. Thank you so much for your time and support. And for more information, or you want the price information, or wants to test a sample, you can contact corresponding account managers, and they will get back to you ASAP. So I see there's no more information on the post, so I will end up in the post. Okay, finally, Wish all you a great 2022. See you. Bye bye.